Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today is a really cute little paperclip embellishment and it's in the shape of a little kite. So these are absolutely gorgeous. Now some of them I've made out of paper and some of them I've made out of fabric, and they are just both really simple, and they are just easy peasy. Little paperclip on the back like that. This one is lovely. It's got a little dingly dangly heart on there and a little bit of chain. So that's just a little bit of fabric on there, which I've sewed around with a machine. This one I'm loving because that's really sort of like shabby to me. Nice little shabby chic one. And I've sewn across it like that just to give you the sort of like kite sort of like shape that you have on there. And it's just got a really simple paperclip on the back. And I'm loving them. This one I've got a little bit of wire, so this is just florist wire. Now this is the one I use. I don't know what gauge it is. I really don't. I can't remember. I don't think it even said on it, but I'm sure you can figure something out. And that's just got a little dragonfly hanging off the bottom, so I think that's really nice. This one here, just a plain one, a little bit of ribbon on there, a little bow. The paper that I've used on here is from my collage collection pieces. I'll pop a link down below because all the colours sort of like have the same tones to them, so they blend in really well. So that's lovely. This one is quite simple. That's just some paper on there. I've gone across it with the sewing machine and I've just popped some chain on there with some little dingly danglies. There's a little key and a lock and just a little bead on there, so I think they look really nice. Let's get a piece of paper like that, so hanging them off one of your journals I think would look gorgeous. This one I was thinking, this one I've done here, this was my very first one I did, so I was thinking I popped a paper clip on there, but I was thinking you could pop that onto your page, you could stick it down and you could make this as long as you wanted to and stick that down like that. Now let me see what I've got here. And you could use it as a little tuck like that. So you could almost use it as like a little belly band, which I think would look really nice. And I'll just pop some little bits of bow on there. So instead of popping a paper clip, you could just stick it onto the page, or you could just clip it on, stick that side down, the bottom down, and just pop that through like that. So there's lots of different ways that you can do it. You'd also make them into little dingly danglies by having a little hole in the top as well, but I think they are really nice. This one here is just a little bit of seam binding. I put lace on top of the fabric there, which is really nice and so simple. Do excuse my hands, I burnt my hand on the oven like I did the other day. This one's clearing up and I've gone and done it again, so that's cooking over the weekend. Let's never mind. So there we go. So I'm going to show you how to do it now. I've got a few bits and pieces here, so just use your leftover scraps of paper as well. I've got some little bits of fabric here, which I've got a lovely great big pile. These are just sort of like the patchwork fabric things that I've got. I'll pop a link to them below. So I've got a few here, and this is what I've got. These are from the collage collection paper, but again use just scrap pieces of paper, and this is the little kite shape. So this is simple to make. So I'm going to show you how you make the shape. So just get a piece of paper, just fold it down, and what you want to do, this is, let me just measure that quick. So this is about 1.5 inches, and that's about 1 inch there. Okay, but it doesn't have to be exact. You just need to draw a shape, really simple, so whatever size you want, and you can always alter it when you've cut it. So if you can just like that, and then you've got like a little kite shape. That one's a little bit too thin because this one's a little bit fatter, but you know which sort of like shape to cut out. So it's just fold it in half, cut that shape, and then just open it up, and you know that that will be symmetrical then. Okay, so let's do a little fabric one first. So this is just this really pretty fabric, so I'm just going to pop that on top there, really simple. I'm just going to cut around it, just like that. This fabric's a little bit stiffer, so it's quite nice to use. And I'm going to cut that there. So then we have our little kite shape like that. Now I'm going to take a piece of paper, so this is just tea stain paper, just cut a section off. Now I want to just stick this onto here, just like that, just so it's a little bit thicker. I'm going to add a little blob of glue onto here, just to stick it down, just like that. Now I'm going to sew these, but you don't have to. Just make sure it's stuck down properly with some I don't have any Fabri-Tac at the moment because it still hasn't arrived, but I've ordered it, so I'm just waiting for that. So stick it down with something like that so it sticks. This is just tacky glue in this little bottle here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just leave a little tiny little gap around it, just like that. So just cut it out so you've got a little gap, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to ink it. A little dauber here, just a little bit of ink around the outside, like that. So again, you can use anything to make them with, or your scrap. You must have lots of scrap fabric and scrap bits of paper from digital kits and anything that you've got. So there we go, that's the lovely shape. So now I'm going to go and just sew around it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew around the outside, and then I'm just going to sew across the middle and then down through the middle like that. Okay, so it's going to be the same as these, so the same as this one here. So I've just sewn across it, big cross in the middle, and then round the outside. So I shall do that and we'll be back. Okay, so there we go, I've just sewn it around the outside and the little cross in the middle. So I'm going to take these little bits off, cut off the little bits of thread. So that's easy peasy bit. Okay, so then we need another piece of paper. What did I do with that? So we need another piece of this, because what we're going to do, we're going to put the back on it. But what we want to do is pop a little slit in it. So I want to measure it. So I want a slit sort of here. So roughly there. So you just want to get your knife, just cut the tiny little slit in there like that. Because what I want to do, I want to pop a little paper clip through like that. Just pop like that, because I don't want the paper clip hanging from the top. So if you make a little slit in it, it sort of like sits in the middle like this here, which is quite nice, and then it doesn't stick out too far over the top of your page. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to get some of this glue, because this is a stronger glue, and I'm just going to glue it to the paper clip like this. Nice bit of glue all over. Sort of make sure you can feel that you've got it in the middle. I'm going to turn it over and then just rub it, just so we can stick that down nicely. It's easier to rub it this way, like that, and then we just cut around it, just like that. And then we have a nice little paper clip. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And then you've got your paper clip in the back, so it's lovely. And then we can add something to the bottom. You can leave it like that if you want to, but you can add anything to the bottom that you've got. It's a nice little bit of seam binding. I like to sort of like screw it up so it's all nice and scrunched up like that. That. Oh, actually I could have a little bit of this hanging down, couldn't we? And then make a little bow. That would look nice. Let me see if I can make a little bow first, like that. And this to turn the right way if I can. Just need a little bow. pull these tight. Turn that round. Not the best bow I've ever done. I think that would fit on there nicely. Twist that in, that's better. There we are. There we go, that's a little bit better. Cut these off here, just like that. That will sit on there. And I'm going to just stick this onto here. Let's use a little bit of this. Stick that down there. Now, I don't want it too long, so let's just cut it off about there. Then we'll pop another little blob of glue on there. And pop our little bow on top. Like a little light, doesn't it? So I'm going to just peg it just to make sure it sticks while that glue is drying, like that. And you've got a lovely, so they're really simple to make. So I'm going to show you how to make the sort of like little patchworky one now. Let me find the lid. So what we want to do is take our template here, let's put these over there. I have got 4 pieces of paper. So again, don't forget, use all your scrap paper. You want to make sure they're all level. Pop that on top, like that. And I'm going to cut that out. So you want all 4, so we know that they're all exactly the same size. Hold on to it tight. Oops, I think my scissors are a bit sticky. Like that, and then down there. Perfect. Right, what we need to do now, take that top piece off, make sure they're all level. We need to cut them into 4, so you need to cut the little top piece off here, so be nice and gentle. Just cut that down like that. Make sure these are all level like that. Cut it in half, doesn't matter, you could have gone long ways up the top. Oops, where did that other piece go? There we are. Shot off. Then we want to cut this down the middle as well. Just down through there. Oops, I think they moved a little bit there. Never mind. Okay, so let's just pick 4 separate pieces. So we'll have that piece, and then we'll have that piece on there. So we need the 4 separate bits. And then I think it was probably that one there and that one there. So that is the 4 separate pieces. Oops, move those bits out of the way. So what I did on the other ones, I just went round them just a little bit with a little bit of ink, just to define the edge a little bit more, like that. Okay, so that's my 4 pieces. Now I'm going to take another piece of paper because we want to stick them on top. Okay. Now let me see if I can get this right. So let's, like that, and then on there like that. So they are level. Let's stick this one down first. A little bit of glue. Stick that down, doesn't really matter where. We want to put these in so we make sure we have them at the right place, like that. So let's stick this one, a bit like a little jigsaw puzzle. Glue, Still haven't filled up my glue bottle. Pop that down. Just leave like a little gap in between. And then these go on like that. Go. Stick down, stay down. And then this one. Doesn't look very level there, but it doesn't matter. You get the gist of what you have to do anyway. So just level it off like that. Perfect. So stick that down like that. Oops. Cut around it. A bit wasteful with my paper then, wasn't I? So look, I didn't really make that very level. Okay, so then we've got our little kite there, which looks great, doesn't it? Go around the outside with the ink. Now these can go on birthday cards, on all sorts of things. If you're into scrapbooking or card making, these are great, really good use for them for all different projects. So now we want to make another little slit in here to pop the paper clip through. I'm just going to make a hole in there. Let's get a little paper clip, pop that through, and then you can just sit on there like that. Now you can always sandwich it in between, so if you wanted something hanging down, you can always sandwich it in between that as well, if you know what you're going to pop in between. See, this one's no sewing, you can just stick these together. Turn that over, rub it down, like that. Perfect. And then just cut the other little bits off that you don't need. Isn't that lovely? Really, really lovely. So you can pop a little bit of this green one on there. Let me just scrunch it up a little bit more. Just like that. And I will glue that on. Let me just cut that little end bit off. Blob of glue on there. Stick that down. About that long, I think. And then what we can do is just do one of our little fake knot bows, just like that. This is a good one. If you're not very good at bows, just make a knot in the middle. Don't pull it too tight, just like that, so it looks like a little bow. And just do a little diagonal cut one way and then the other way. You have like a little bow. So there we go. We can stick this one on here like that. We've got a lovely little kite. So let's take that off there. So that's perfect. Stick that on there for a minute and look at that. How lovely is that? So again, you can make some little bows so they go all the way down. You might even have a little paper punch of bows, which you could punch down through there. But I think they are just absolutely gorgeous. Let's pop it onto here. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? And this one here, I think it's pretty dry. So we've got that one on there, and then we've got that one. And I'm loving these. So there we go, guys, easy peasy. I've got a whole big bunch of them here, all lots of different ones. So yes, this is a lovely one for a vintage journal. So you could have a lovely one. You could do lots of lacy ones and all sorts. But there we go guys, another little project for you, and don't forget you can make it into like a little tuck spot or a little belly band for your journals as well, and pop a little dingly dangly off it. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do give it a go. It's my other little one there with a little dingly dangly on it. Do give it a go, and I can't wait to see them when you post them onto the Facebook group. And thank you so much for joining me. Please take care of yourselves, and I will see you all soon. Alright guys, bye bye.